Alright, this is video 6, and it's probably gonna be my last video that I'm about to make that's gonna like actually make sense, and it's not gonna be nonsense. But I was talking about like the freaking neodymium magnets and 40,000 turns around an iron, like ore, some iron, like a big thick piece of iron with like maybe a whole bunch of like Baghdad batteries energizing the freaking iron. I'm gonna have that shit. It's gonna be like Terminator, like how that one Terminator tries to like come through and she gets melted and shit on that fucking big ass freaking magnet or whatever. Cause she's basically like a tank too. Like nobody could take her out. Like that's like on the nano suit. Like if you have a nano suit from Awful Crisis, like I um like that's real. Like they have that shit. Like you can get stuck to a magnet and you can literally get microwaved. So it would not be no fucking point in the fucking being a fucking super soldier, fucking walking fucking robot. Like you, a big ass, basically a big fucking piece of metal. You would have to actually be like something that is not detectable by fucking like those type of means or whatever. But not only that, you would have to not be able to be exposed to wireless frequencies in atmosphere, because you could get your olfactory senses could be manipulated by different types of frequencies and stuff like that. And that's what don't make sense. It doesn't make sense to try to take advantage of people that are equally as intelligent as you are, who are he's equally has equal amount of potential that you have, or who can actually have that amount of potential. Matter of fact, some of these people are more intelligent than the people that are using these people as lab rats. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, and when I say lab rats, when you're a lab rat, you can be used for anything. You can be mutilated. You can be sexually seduced or harassed or any of that, and it could be somebody that you know. And you could be a rat, a fucking lab rat. I couldn't be a rat though. I'm not a rat because I don't work for nobody. So I couldn't be a rat. What I'm telling you is that I'm telling you shit that I know personally. I'm telling you my experience. I'm telling you tips on like how to like what you should do. Like you shouldn't be living in a house, all right, because it's made of wood, all right. Like you shouldn't be living in a house that you have to pay for anyways. You shouldn't have to be going to work. Who would manipulate these kids? First of all, like, do they really think they're getting away with that? Like, who would manipulate these kids? And the thing is, perfectly okay to pay for college and education, to be educated. All right, I'm telling you that right there, like, that don't make any sense. You have to go to work to make money to pay for your education first of all, but then pay for your apartment or your dorm. And then what time do you have to study? But then what time do you have to sleep? All right, so then can you what can you say for some of the college students that fucking jumped off of a fucking balcony or some shit and committed suicide? All that intelligence gone, wasted. But what's really sad is what would have that intelligence gone into anyways? Don't let anybody manipulate you into thinking that you have to go to college. Your parents are fake. I'm just trying to let you know, because they were trying to use me. They was trying to use me and make me think for them, bro. I was not having it. Literally, I'm not like I'm not the smartest person, all right, in the whole entire world. Maybe not. I couldn't be the smartest person in the entire world, but I'm definitely aware, alright, of shit that normal human beings are not aware of. Like, I'm definitely a human being, but that doesn't make me in control anything. That doesn't make me in control of the situation I'm in. That doesn't even make me, even if there's nobody in existence right now, I would not be in control of what's going on with me and my body and the physics of this reality. Like, and how I can't measure physical pain, but why I keep on coming up with this assumption that our sexual organs are very crooked and corrupt. Like, it's a mistake, it's an accident. They're very contradicting. Like, as in, like, I mean, very contradicting. Like, to have an asshole. It's very contradicting to have an asshole where shit comes out of. But then you have a genitalia. Then you have physical pain where, and people murder each other. And there's car accidents or the body gets mangled and shit like that. And you can see the ligaments and tendons. But what will make you want to fuck something like that if you can see it in a coffin? After it's been in a car accident. That wouldn't make any sense. Like, if you can see the ligaments and tendons and the bone and the ripped skin, the tear skin, what would make you want to fuck anybody? I mean, obviously you still want to, that's not going to make you not want to fuck anybody, but what I'm saying is, if you can see that person in a coffin though afterwards, if you fuck that person, what you basically did was fuck that. And what I'm saying is, fuck life is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Fuck life. Alright? And it doesn't necessarily mean that committing suicide is the best answer or isn't. What I'm saying is, eventually suicide is the best answer. That's what I'm saying. Unless you actually bring it up a notch and realize there's other multiverses and dimensions where there are innocent creatures and alien beings, like just like an Avatar, who can be taken advantage of sexually by a very black degenerate person, like a very dark black degenerate, very 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 exotic darkness of a person who has this very type of, like, I don't know if it's hatred or what, but it's very black, is what I'm saying. Just like I was talking to you about Jesus and Jeepers Creepers, there's something that disturbed Jeepers Creepers. Alright? Jeepers Creepers is Jesus. Jeepers Creepers has encountered a lot of pain that normal human beings have not encountered. Like, and that's what makes him who he is. There's this place, alright? And everybody goes there because what Jesus is saying is that he's going to make you whole again. Alright? So for you to be whole, you have to go to hell. Alright? Hell is not heaven. You're in hell forever. Alright? That means you're not getting out. To be whole, you have to come to a place where you think everything is alright. To feel all the pain. Because physical pain has something to do with psychological pain too. They're related in some type of way. Just because they're not of the same physical mathematical nature, they're related as in it causes you to hurt, but it knows it. It has a relation. It feeds off each other. Like they're married, like a male and a female. They're not the same, but they have something to do with the overall picture of you hurting. Like, and you have to hurt forever, and it's non-stop, and you can't do anything about it. There's no law or explanation for it, because there's no explanation for it. It's illogical. There's no reason for it, so it hurts more because you know there's nothing to relate to you besides everybody else that cannot fix what is going on that's happening to them too. And it's going to happen to your parents. It's going to happen to your kids. It's going to happen to your wife. It's a really ugly place, but it's not the hell that is made by man, though. Alright? The man-made hell is just as ugly, but it has a lot to do with pedophilia. Alright? The other hell doesn't really have necessarily everything to do with pedophilia. It has to do... in this hell, I can't explain it, but it's extremely sad, and I felt it. And it's like a big mass of flesh. And everybody is this big mass of flesh. Like, it's a brain of some type, but it's not a brain, it's actual bodies. It's not even bodies. It's like it's very morbid. Like, have you ever seen The Thing? But it's basically like an alien piece of flesh, but it's an extreme amount of pain, and they can't cry. They're suffocating simultaneously, and they're in so much pain, but they're trying to say something. And my sister was in it, and she was trying to tell me something. Like, she was like, "Oh," like that. She was like, "Oh," like that. I swear to God, because she was trying to explain that. It was so powerful. Like, she was like, "Oh, don't." She was really trying to warn me. She was like, "Don't come here. Like, don't." Like, she was in that much pain, bro. And I swear to God, like, I Jeepers Creepers had something to do with it. Like, he made this mask, but it wasn't a pervert. He's not a really perverted person, but he's very disturbed and messed up, and he's trying to explain something. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's people that are so pure that don't do sexual things at all, and they might even hurt by this. They might even be very depressed people, but they don't do what everybody else does. What he basically considers them unique. That's why they're a very small amount, and that's why they're in a heaven. But it's not. Look, he understands so much about pain that he's not going to let pain affect him, because he has the whole amount of what it is. Like, he can actually hold it, so he knows how to block it from the people that are that unique, who don't deserve for that to happen to them. Like basically divine beings, and they know that he's wicked. They not wicked, but they know that he's a dark being. Like, Jeepers Creepers is basically Jesus, but they know that he's a dark being, like a devil. He's a devil, but where they're at is that heaven is really a sad place. They're like, they don't really do anything like sexual there. Like, I can't explain the sadness there. It's like a purity there, but also a sadness. But it's not a depressing sadness. It's like a where there's something wrong with the universe, all right? And they know that they also assume that anything can happen to them still. Like, Jeepers Creepers could even turn it against them or whatever, but their intelligence is what makes them fit for it and appropriate and for that place or whatever. And it's like the sadness is like, it's like the strange ass place, but they can play hide and go seek there. They can it's like a very weird place. So it's like it's kind of like lonely there, but I can't explain it. It's very valuable. It has a lot of value to where even if you were the most crooked person and you were doing what you were doing to those people in hell, there was something about this place that touched you to where it was so beautiful that it made you mad and it disturbed you. Because how can that beauty exist in a place so foul, and it hurts you so bad? It's like, boom. And like, it's irreversible. Like, you cannot say that there's nothing wrong with the whole entire universe and galaxy, when you realize there is actually something extremely like benign, I guess, and beautiful, and has to do with like, and there's beautiful people, really extremely beautiful people who have beautiful souls. But on the other hand, you have, alright, like, let's say, like, you got trap music, you got pornography, you got fucking strip clubs and these get crunk clubs where they're getting crunk and doing the fucking twerk and all this shit and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Stay away from pornography, because all this shit is around you anyways. You have to, you literally have to get that shit off you, like, breathe that out of you. Like, all the females that try to seduce you because I believe they want to hurt you, detract them, get them away from you. Alright, you have to breathe them off you. You literally have to breathe off the bullcrap, because you have to do these things by scratch. Alright, you have to ask yourself if you're in a dream every once in a while, so you can actually be aware of your dream, because your dreams will have information for you. They automatically have information. But do not let anybody make you feel guilt for trying to leave your body, or trying to have a lucid dream, or this other spiritual stuff, because you're not doing anything negative by being spiritual or trying to contact ghosts or weird shit like that, because that's who you are. You're weird. That's who we are. We want to contact aliens. We want to get in contact with even monsters because we're so curious about things that are weird because of the weirdness, because we are attracted to weirdness. But you have to breathe out the perverted energy and know that you're perverted. Do not be ashamed by your private. Do not be ashamed by your sexuality. Just know that I'm not trying to be associated with that. Don't be associated with pornography and that filthy crap. Don't be associated with that club shit and I'm gonna smoke a blunt in the car and we about to go fuck in the back or some shit. Like, don't be, because it's good to be open to sexuality in a way to where you don't have to directly be associated with it and still like understand the nature of what the birds are trying to communicate and the feeling of the freedom that you can do that, but that doesn't, it's not necessary. So you don't have to do that. And matter of fact, you don't have to do it ever. You don't have to masturbate. You don't have to. Masturbating is better than watching pornography and masturbating to it. Or like you can look at pornography for a second and just look at it and be like, what is that? But then turn it off like immediately, because like if you just try to like deny it like that, you're denying something about yourself. So don't deny who you are really, but don't have anything to do with it. Disassociate yourself with it, because it's really bad. Like, because there's a lot of other bad things out there, and you have to realize that you might have a responsibility, and it's not really that I don't think it's really inappropriate to kill yourself. But like I'm saying, just if you do, I mean, do it the right way. But I'm saying it's not really not necessary until it's really necessary, until where you get totally like, well, really I feel like it's necessary pretty soon though. But like sometimes I feel like I'm also being the bad guy also by trying to be righteous and stuff like that. So I know I'm the bad guy by being righteous, and I know that's why I'm still here, because being righteous is really technically bad. And so, but I don't really believe in righteousness. I don't believe in hope. I only believe in darkness, because that's what we're surrounded by. I don't believe in freaking angels or God or Satan or devils or blah blah blah. I mean, I believe there's devils. I believe that that's what we are, devils. We're all devils. So there's really no hope when everybody's a devil, right? So what I'm saying is, what kind of devil do you want to be? Like, you want to be one that detracts something that's filthy and becomes something more powerful, that's really incredibly powerful, and utilize your physical strength and energy to try to determine certain types of like, never mind. But anyways, like, you can actually breathe in and try to breathe out that energy of like the negativity of the perversion. First of all, you want to get that perverted energy away from you. You want to try to detract all the women that even would want to have sex with you. Just detract them, because it's not bad to be attracted to them. It's not bad to be kind of somewhat aroused or stimulated by them, but just mainly try to detract them though. Mainly. And get them further away from you, to where they disappear, because you don't want them to be in your life at all, like whatsoever, forever, as in like you're terminating them. And there's a certain quest that you can find by literally terminating certain aspects of life. So and just like I said, you can play games like this, murder games that are dark. This is what I like. So I like games like that, and they make me feel some type of way, and I don't really like to eat like crappy shit like that. Like I try to eat light mainly because I really don't like taking shits, and I've been trying to figure out like I think I said something about the enzymes that consume food in your digestive system, and I'm trying to like I'm thinking about different types of ways to reduce waste that actually comes out of your ass, because I don't really think it's necessary. Like, how are you making it? Everything seems so Glee and American Idol. If people are still taking shits, you don't want to explain anything about it. Just like you don't want to explain anything about totipotent cells or cells that divide in your body, or the telomeres at the end of your DNA, which is a bunch of guanine, or this and that, or immortality, or like how you can actually be like, you don't have to age or anything like that, or like basically I feel like the only people that know that you can't age is like randoms that nobody really knows about. But like a lot of people also die too, and maybe they don't deserve to die, or maybe they make up people that die or something like that. I might come out with a part 7. This might be a part 7 series, but like only 7. All right, because no, this might be the last video, because I'm not really trying to be, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be like even positive. Only in the aspect of, only in just the aspect of speaking about negativity, because negativity is a main aspect about life, because negativity is assumed from pain. It's affiliated with the actual physical pain. So you wouldn't have psychological pain if it wasn't for physical pain. You wouldn't. Alright? Why do you cry tears? Why do you cry tears? What is the purpose of crying tears? Sadness? Bam, there you go. Sadness. But what's the ironicness? Just what is the freaking coincidence, or the freaking... It just so happens that, like, you can laugh at something that's so hilarious, like somebody farting, and it's really not that funny, because it's like you cry tears that are really sad, that are actually valuable, that actually mean something to your emotions and your soul alone, to you particularly, to the mind and soul that is attached to your brain, and the 3 pounds of mass, or flesh. Maybe that's what you are, 3 pounds. But what does your brain itself feel? Well, you'll probably feel the pituitary gland, that sensation or the pituitary gland. But do you think that's you? I'm not sure. I sense like things about my taste, my smell, my hearing. But what about my mind? Who am I exactly? Because I can calculate who I am. Like, I can calculate certain things, like this is black and white, this is white, like, or am I just seeing something that somebody else is putting there? Because they're manipulating your olfactory senses by the frequencies that you're surrounded by, that you're not protected by. And they're gonna have the nerve to make you go to school and college and not protect you from these frequencies, but think it's perfectly alright to be typing on the... Somebody's controlling your life. They don't care about your safety. Because you would not be typing on the fucking computer why wireless fucking frequencies are coming in, why some other fucking college students are in their basement after they went to fucking college and learned all this shit about computers and wireless technology and how to fucking do all this and that, which is probably a particular certain type of particular individuals that are like chosen to do that shit. They probably don't even teach people like that. Even if they did pay fucking for college, they'd probably fucking do a run around and go around and fucking do all a bunch of shit. But they'd probably be in their basements trying to figure out this and calculate that, and how we can use a fucking microwave frequency fucking wireless radio transmitter, fucking try to manipulate the fucking neurological patterns of somebody's brain and make them go to sleep or some shit like that. Like, man, that's just like, for your parents to just be so lousy, for and for all your friends, and your family and everybody that you know that apparently care about you, that's lousy and it's ignorant. And I'm disappointed, most definitely, because it's trifling. But you just, it's as if you just condone to like all this pornography on the internet because you're not strong enough to handle it, so you give into it, and that is why there's not heroes. All right, heroes realize there's also nothing wrong about sex and even being perverted. All right, because I feel like everybody's extremely perverse. Right, everyone is extremely perverse. So you might as well not make anybody feel wrong or like a criminal for being perverse. All right, like somebody's a pedophile or something like that. Because I bet if I fucking was like on the computer and I was an investigator and I seen some dudes doing some weird shit to a child and the child was actually digging it, I guarantee that I'm gonna dig it. Like I guarantee it. Like there's no way around it though. There's no way around it. I'm not that type of investigator. I'm not going to be that type of investigator. All right, because there's no reason to be in that type of investigator when everybody's a fucking pedophile practically. But that doesn't make me like an actual pedophile to where I want to go on a computer and look up at little actual kids or some shit like that, or even look at pornography itself. That doesn't even mean that. There's different types of pedophiles and different types of forms of pedophilia. Like you just have to be the one that doesn't buy into the one that everybody else wants you to buy into, so they can give you money for sexual gratification, and that's why money is made, and that's what it's for, and that's why they pay certain people, and that's why certain people have money and some people don't. That's why I don't like females. That's why, because they're not mothers. They're not mothers. A real mother is a male who speaks for what he knows and tells you what's really going on. And the only thing that's going to make him strong enough to do that is if he's actually strong enough to not give in to the filth, which is already around us. So you would have to be vain, is what I'm basically saying. Because that's what technically you are, because we live in filth. We live in a sewer. Alright? So I don't think there's anything wrong with letting your children watch fucking like non-corny, reasonable, murderous, psychological, eerie suspense movies that even have blood and gore and guts in it, and as long as it has something like reasonable and logical that's going to stimulate your mind in a spiritual aspect, like a spiritual way. And there are movies that do that. There are movies that do that. There's music that does that. That can stimulate your mind. You don't have to watch pornography. Alright? You don't have to. You don't have to ignore it either, that it's not there, because it's obviously there, and we obviously have dick and pussy. We don't have to ignore it. Alright? But if the children are gonna know what we know now still, like, sometimes I don't even think it would hurt to treat them like we actually are, to actually treat them like they are us. That doesn't mean interacting with them so like sexually, but just interacting with them like you actually know them as a friend. Like you can actually go into a fucking abandoned factory together and do weird shit like fucking break glass and shit like that, but try to keep them away from the influence of porn. You can show them porn like, this is what it is, but this shit, do you really want this shit? This shit is filthy. Like look at her asshole and shit like that. This shit's dirty. I'm turning this shit off. Like, they wouldn't want to look at that anymore because they would know it's dirty. Like, shit, I'd be like you can probably even Like, that's what I said. Like, you can probably even have a movie that comes out in